Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and this is episode 31 of my Billions and Billions challenge. In today's episode, I will be setting up a system that can automatically fusion craft things from the mod Draconic Evolution. So let's get started. I have most of the stuff that I will need with me, and I have 3 buildings built over here. And the buildings are all pretty much identical. I actually have a little bit of stuff set up, and I will be basically just recreating this setup over here to build bigger and better things using the fusion crafting. So first off, to do some fusion crafting, we are going to need a fusion crafting core from the mod Draconic Evolution, and I want to put that right here. And next off, I want to actually hook up my ME conduit stuff because I do want to automate this with my ME systems. So let's go ahead and run this cable, or this conduit rather, and I need to just simply hook it up to my ME system, and I can do that right here. So let's go ahead and do that, and then I can get this facade and cover this up. Make it look nice and neat. Okay, there we go. So the next thing I want to do is I want to put down some crafting injectors, and for certain crafts you need anywhere from 9 to, I think some of the fusion crafts only use maybe 4 of them, but I am actually going to set up 8 of them for today, and actually I need to set that up facing not that direction. I want it to be facing the fusion crafting core here, and these do need power, so that's why the flux duct is here. I do have a capacitor in the floor, and we can click on it right here. It is my main capacitor. I have extended it inside these buildings so that it can hook up to these fusion crafting injectors. So now that they have all of the power that they're going to need, I want to set up a little redstone automation to so that the crafts can start automatically. Traditionally, if you have the things that you need to make a fusion craft in the fusion crafting core, and then the items spread out along the crafting injectors here, there will be a button down here that says like start, and then you just click on that. However, you can automatically start this using redstone signal, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So to do that, I just need to grab a comparator and grab some redstone conduit here, and what we're going to do is just loop this up and over, and I actually need to get rid of this connection right here. This does need to be input, and this right here will need to be output. And to actually do that, because it doesn't actually connect up by default, I only need to grab my crescent hammer here, or Yeta wrench, or whatever you have, and have this be an output, and it needs to be on the red color. So simply putting an item in here that can be fusion crafted will not kick out redstone signal with the comparator. It's actually a rather cool implementation here. Not only do you have to have the correct item in the fusion crafting core here, you actually need to have the correct items in the fusion crafting injectors nearby before it will kick out a redstone signal, and then it will start the craft that way. So the next thing I want to do is I actually want to put on my ME interface, and that needs to go right here. And then lastly, and I want to do this the same way over here, let's go ahead and place down the modular storage unit, and this is going to be a super temporary storage for everything that the ME interface kicks out. So the first thing I want to do is I want to set up an item conduit right here, and this will be extract always on, and it will need a filter. For right now, I'm just going to configure this filter to just allow it, or rather just allow the resonant filters through. Actually, let's just do cobblestone. That's basically my way of telling it to not let anything through. So this is always on, and then we need this to be insert mode. Oh, my mouse is being a little bit finicky, but that's okay. So the next thing I want to do is I will need to pull items out of this modular storage unit here to get to the crafting injectors. And that's what the item conduit here is for. It is to pull certain items out and put them into the fusion crafting core. Additionally, and I need to set up a system to pull things out of the fusion crafting core once they are done. So actually I will need this extract, and we're going to do on the brown channel. And the things need to go back into the ME system, so I need to set this up right here to be insert on the brown channel. So all of the completed crafts will come back to the ME system. So over here, I want to set up some some item duct rather, and we are going to be using the resonant servo, and I'm going to be blacklisting things over here on this servo, so only certain things that I say cannot come through, those things will not be able to come through. I can go ahead and set this to be always on. I don't need a redstone signal or anything. But in the back of these fusion crafting injectors, I'm going to be placing filters. And the filters not only will allow me to actually filter what items go where, they will also allow me to filter how many items actually go in. So let's go ahead and place all the filters down. And all these filters are going to be set to whitelist. And shoot, it's a little bit complicated here. And I knew I was going to do something like that. Actually, the easiest way here might be to do that. So let's go ahead and put this item duct back, and then that filter back, as well as the filter down here. So what I will need to do is I will need to not only set whitelist for certain items, but I will need to click this over so that it will only allow one item to be in the inventory, the target inventory at a time. And that is going to be crucial for properly automating things, because in a lot of the fusion crafts, there are multiple items that need to go to, or multiple of the same items that need to go to various of the crafting injectors. For example, to make the Wyvern fusion crafting injectors that I've already made off camera, we need 4 diamonds and 2 draconic cores. So basically, I need to allow only one diamond in each of the fusion crafting injectors to do that. And if I did not have those filters, it would put all the diamonds into one particular fusion crafting injector, and that would be no good, obviously. So the next thing I need to do is I actually need to figure out what I want to make over here, and I already know what I want to make. So I need to make draconium, that is, or awakened draconium first of all. So that would be this right here. And to make awakened draconium, we are going to need 6 of the draconic cores and a dragon heart and 4 draconium blocks. So let's go ahead and get everything we need. So I need 4 draconium blocks, and actually let's grab double of everything we need so that I can set up the automation as well. So 4 of the draconium blocks, 1 dragon heart. I think I needed 6 of these guys. Okay, so my mouse is being a little bit clunky right now. So for each one, I think I need 6 of the draconic cores rather. Sorry, I'm getting a little tongue-tied here. And then that is it, actually. So what I need to do right here is I need to blacklist the draconium blocks, because the draconium blocks need to come up here. I need to set this filter to only extract draconium blocks, so that all of the draconium blocks that I put in here will go to the fusion crafting core. And then this blacklist will let everything else this way, so the hearts and the draconic cores will come this way. So what I need to do is I need to set up 6 of these filters to allow the draconic cores. So I need to make sure they are whitelisted. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the 7th one will be the dragon hearts. For right now, this last one, let's just set it to be cobblestone. It won't let anything in, essentially. Anything that would be placed in here. So let's go ahead and place our items in here. And like I said, I want to keep half of them so that I can actually set a pattern. And this should be able to kick itself off and start crafting. So let's see if everything happens correctly. Okay, so I know what I did wrong. And I forgot to set all of these filters to only allow one thing in at a time. So that is my problem here. So I will need to grab everything out of the fusion crafting cores, because somewhere I have multiple of the draconic cores. Okay, so do I have all of them? It looks like I have all of them done. So I'm not sure which slot that would be, but let's grab everything back. We should have everything we need now. So the draconic blocks did make their way into the fusion crafting core. Let's try this last part again. So I'm just going to throw these guys in here, and they should go where they need to be. So it looks like everything's working now, and it did start. Unfortunately, I wasn't over here to see this the redstone comparator actually pulse. Actually, it's still on right now. But yeah, that is how you automatically make things with the fusion crafting. Now this does take a little bit of time, unfortunately, so yeah, you'll have to be a little bit patient with it, but let's see here, and it should pull it out automatically with the item conduit, or yeah, item conduit here, and it did. So I should see that awakened draconium in my system, and that's fantastic. So what I need to do now is I need to set up a pattern for this, but that is going to be pretty easy. I just need to run back to my main building here. And sorry if you're getting some frame stutter. I know my frame rate's a little bit low right now around my main base, and that's just because there's so much going on. But to set the processing pattern, it's going to be pretty easy. It's going to be 4 of these, a dragon heart, and 6 draconic cores equals 4 awakened draconium blocks. That is going to be my pattern. So let's run back over there and set the pattern in and try to make some more of this stuff. Just to make sure that everything is going to work as intended. And I don't anticipate any problems, to be honest. So the awakened draconium block pattern is in here. So let's go ahead and tell the system to make some of those. So actually, let's get rid of this for right now. Let's, and obviously, if I tell it to make 1, it will actually craft 4 because it can only do 4 at a time, obviously. It only knows how to do 4 at a time because that's the only way it can craft them. There we go. So this system works awesome. This is going to be really, really nice. And I will be setting up this system multiple times. That's why I have the 2 other buildings here. They are set up pretty much identically at this point. I actually already have the ME interfaces down over in these buildings. But yeah, they're pretty much... this is a system I'm going to use a lot. And there we go. Let's see. Yep, everything is done. So that's fantastic. So I think what I want to go ahead and do now is I also want to set up a system that will automatically be able to build my draconian crafting injectors. So let's see what that entails. And they are right here. They are draconic crafting injectors. And I will need to, and I will actually be able to make this over here. So let's go ahead and set up this next pattern as well. So it's going to be 4 diamonds, 2 iron cores, and 1 block of this. So let's get this set up. So 4 diamonds, I know that. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to need a wyvern. Crafting injector is the actual thing that I'm going to be making into the draconic. Yeah. And I need 2 of the wyvern cores. So wyvern cores, I should have those already automatable or craftable, I should say. Okay, so now let's go ahead and set this up. We will be able to use the same system. In some of the crafts, I am going to have to use separate systems because some of the filtering will conflict with other crafts. For example, if I did have the wyvern fusion crafting injectors over here, I would actually need to build certain things. Actually, I could use the same one because to make the wyvern fusion crafting, you actually also need the 4 diamonds. So that would all be the same. The only things that would be different would be the cores. Yeah, I think that would actually still be compatible. I could still make this over here, except for the fact that the Draconic Evolution fusion crafting has tiers. So for the upper tiers, I actually need better fusion crafting injectors, which is why I have the basic fusion crafting injectors here, and then the wyvern fusion crafting injectors over here. And I am building, or I will be building, the Draconic fusion crafting injectors. So let's go ahead and set this up. We need to whitelist this, and then we need to blacklist the fusion crafting injector over here. So let's throw this in here. It should come up here, and you'll notice that there is no redstone signal right now, but that will change here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and set up these. So one of these needs to be an awakened draconian block, and then 4 of them need to be diamonds. This would be 3, and this will be 4. Let me get up here. And then I need 2 of them to be wyvern cores. And then once again, the 8th fusion crafting injector actually won't even be used at all. So let's go ahead and throw these things in here. They should go to where they need to be if I set everything up correctly. I think I did, and it should start. So that's going to be fantastic. So that is going to be the Draconic fusion crafting injectors. And those actually don't seem to take very long to make either, so that's cool. So let's go ahead and get the pattern ready. We might as well, because I do obviously want to automate that as well. I will need to make several more of those. So let's go ahead and exit out of that and then set this pattern. Oh, here comes my train. And there is the pattern right there. So let's go ahead and see. Now if I look up Awakened Draconium, I can just set this in here. And let's go ahead and ask it to make another one of those, just to make sure that it's going to work. And I don't see any reason why it won't, because it worked when I threw everything into the modular storage unit. Yep, looks like it's working. So that is fantastic. And one thing I didn't mention is the fusion crafting core is smart, and then it has an input slot and an output slot. It will only pull things from the output slot, obviously. Otherwise, I would have been pulling my inputs out and back into my ME system. But I think this is where I'm going to wrap up today's episode. In the next episode, I will probably be continuing with the fusion crafting injectors and the fusion crafting. I think I'm going to set up a system that will automatically be able to upgrade weapons and armor from the mod Draconic Evolution, because I would like to, in the future, build a Draconic Reactor. And for that, I need Chaos Shards. And for those, I actually need to kill Chaos Dragons, or I'm not sure if they're called Chaos Dragons or Chaos Guardians. But either way, they are the toughest boss that I know of in the entire modded Minecraft bosses. So they are very difficult, and I definitely do need this armor pretty much fully upgraded, along with a bow that's fully upgraded to be able to even stand a chance against the Chaos Guardians or Chaos Dragons or whatever they're called. But anyways, if you enjoyed today's episode where I set up this automatic fusion crafting from the mod Draconic Evolution, definitely feel free to drop a like down below. And if you enjoy watching automation type stuff in modern Minecraft, definitely consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.